Hey guys, welcome and thank you for joining us in this day. We're so excited you're connected with us. This is our series Take Back Your Life. This is day 32. The title of today is Four Squares for a Better You. Four Squares for a Better You. I want to start off by reading Proverbs 4:26. It says, "Ponder the path of your feet." So our culture places a high value on being true to ourselves. Not doing and saying what we feel like is hard because it flies in the face of that concept. On day 31, a couple of days ago, we talked about taking control of our mouth, of that we don't always have to say the things that we feel. And in order to build good relationships, we have to take control of that mouth and not react with anger or with hurtful words. Don't kick the beehive. If somebody mistreated you, if somebody didn't give you the honey, you don't kick it in anger, because it's going to make things worse. And that goes against our culture of today, because our culture tells us, do what you like, be true to you, do what you say, and that's not actually effective. So, if we're going to be true to ourselves, we'd better make sure we are being true to our most surrendered, healed, and healthy selves, the ones God made us to be. So you might struggle with anger, but you're not an angry person. You might struggle with people, but that doesn't make you not a people person. That doesn't mean you weren't made for community. You were created in the image of a triune God. Those things you feel are not who you really are. So there's a 4-part matrix that helps people manage themselves when they get dicey with other people. It's something that I want you to remember, maybe write it down. And eventually you're going to be able to do this in your mind in real time, and it will give you the freedom to keep from saying everything you feel like saying. So the first one is analyze. The first square is analyze. Under analyze, you want to write, I want to do this, and then write exactly what you want to say or do because you're angry, sad, or rejected. So don't run from your emotions, you gotta study them. For example, I feel like saying something mean or snarky. I feel like throwing a tantrum. I feel like breathing fire on this customer service person's judgmental self for not helping us, even though we have been waiting for longer than anyone else. So as you write down what you want to do, really try to feel the tidal wave pushing you to those behaviors. So don't fight it, just feel it. Do this every time you feel ready to do something that's going to result in strife. Then stop and analyze what you want to do and why you feel like doing it. The goal is that over time, you're going to begin to notice common threads, consistent themes, and patterns. You're going to notice every time this happens, this is how I feel, and this is what it makes me want to do. The more we can understand the emotions that drive our words, the better chance we'll have to process them before we act on them and before they affect our relationships. Gary Chapman wrote, almost all research now indicates that venting off angry feelings with such aggressive behaviors does not drain a person's anger, but actually makes the person more likely to be explosive in the future. The pen is mightier than the stress, though. So number 1, analyze. Number 2, extrapolate. After you analyze the situation, the next step is to extrapolate. If I do this, then this will happen. So you have to play out the scenario and take it to its logical end. It's like running a simulation, like having Iron Man's virtual assistant Jarvis inside your head. The point is to understand the trajectory. It's incredibly helpful to understand the implications of a given decision before taking action. If I say this, then that person's going to say that. What's going to happen next? What is he likely going to do? What am I then going to do? How will this escalate the situation? What will I do with the tension? What are the long-term impacts on my family, on my kids, on my reputation, on my career? You just have to think about all of that. You still can choose to take that course of action. Just make sure you do so with the understanding of what would happen next. Ask, will this path take me to a place I like? Will I enjoy the frosty silence that comes from having responded with a comment that stings? A wise person observed, if you speak when angry, you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret. The great thing about extrapolating is that you can size yourself up and grab the reins of your emotions before they rush you towards a chasm. So number 2, extrapolate. Think about how it's going to go. If you say this, if you do that, what's going to happen? Number 3, prioritize. The third step is to prioritize. Write, what I really want to happen is ... You played out the implications of what you wanted to do and realize that it's not what you want to end up with. Now ask, if you were to come up with a storyboard for this situation, what is the last pane of the comic? What is the final scene before the credits roll? Maybe it's, I want to be heard. I want a seat on the plane. I want respect. I want to end the night laughing with my spouse and my kids. When you take time to do this exercise, there are great things that matter much more than temporary vindication. As good as it feels to unload on someone in the moment, the pleasure is extremely short-lived and you're left with a mess. So don't trade what you want most for what feels good right now. So knowing your priorities, knowing what you want, a healthy family, good relationships, is going to keep you from doing things and saying things you really don't want to say. And number 4 is navigate. The last and most important step is to navigate. What I need to do to get there is ... It's probably going to be the opposite of whatever you started out feeling like doing. So what I want to do is get the table at the restaurant you want. Try kindness and empathy, not sarcasm and condensation. Honesty, humility, and vulnerability work when you want attention from your spouse. Calmly telling your sibling that you're hurt and your feelings work, that they hurt you, feelings works better than bringing the pain deep down and letting it come through passive-aggressive digs. Ask people you're in conflict with to help you see the situation through their eyes, instead of assuming that your perspective of the event is correct and definitive. The Bible agrees that gentleness and friendliness are stronger than fury and force. Proverbs 15:1, a gentle response diffuses anger, but a sharp tongue kindles a temper fire. So understanding these 4 steps and applying them has helped relationships immensely. The old tendency was to do whatever we want we would have to come up with in quadrant 1. But things change by quadrant 4. It's when you humble yourself as a servant that people want to follow you as a leader. Being nice is 1,000 times more effective than being a jerk. So think about these things. Analyze your feelings. Why do you react like this? Why do I say this? And before you say something, think about how it's going to play out. What is going to be the result? Is the situation going to be fixed, or are we going to be hurt and not talk for the rest of the evening? And analyze that. And I think when you analyze that, or when you just think for a few seconds about what's going to happen when you say that, it stops you from doing so. And instead of reacting in anger, you react with kindness and humility, and that relationship actually gets stronger. And you're mature. So may God bless you on this day. Remember these 4 squares for a better you. And talk life, speak life, be kind, love, even when it hurts. May God bless you.